Previously on the lounge, we discussed about sources of capital and how to budget for it. Now we are going to talk about how to stock the business, where to get the best products, which suppliers to deal with, and so on. My name is Samali, and welcome to the lounge.
My name is Bronia. Welcome to the lounge. We are on SMART24 TV, channel 394 on GoTV, and also 372 DSTV.
Natalie, this is SMART24 TV, and this is the lounge where we drive business. Well, today we're going to be discussing suppliers in terms of provision of services and goods to a person in the business. And this, our main scope are the youth. The people who are setting up businesses, the people who are just, new in the system, who are just trying to see if it's going to work out or not.
Yeah.
So a supplier can be a person providing goods or services. Services are different, also the goods are different. We're going to explain all this as we're continuing with the show.
Yeah. So starting with, how can one obtain a supplier or a supplier for your goods?
A supplier, you first have to do a market research, market analysis, and also ask
Connections.
yes. Do what other people in the game are doing. Since you're like a young person,
Yeah.
for example, we're doing like selling shoes.
Move.
Ladies' shoes, yes.
Move.
Go and ask the people who are already selling the shoes. Where do they buy the shoes from? Me, the place I know is, the Nana building. I guess you can the Angela something plaza.
Chikubo.
Chikubo is
Gazaland.
Yeah.
Gazaland down like once a year. Yeah. So me, what I think probably, I know as a young person, most of the people, okay, if you look at how the settings have been in Gatusome, realize that young people are always at home, enclosed. So you might find that they don't know town so well. So you can't maybe just move into Chikubo, not and Gamba. I'm looking for a supplier. Yeah, you'll get issues. I think look around and see if you don't have a relative who is in Chikubo, try to look around and see which friend of mine, because of course there's those sharp kids always. They're always there. But in Chikubo, they have someone, and then ask around, and then you're able to get a person.
Kind of very creative.
Yeah.
They have a way of, if I'm done with school,
I start hustling and do something.
That company to look after yourself and everything. And as you're getting that supplier, you have to get a their quality.
How can one notice a genuine supplier?
First of all, I think the best supplier is one that has been in the business for long.
With experience.
Yeah, experience.
That also, so that one who tries to keep time, actually doesn't try, but does keep time. That's one who beats the deadline.
Yeah.
So if I'm opening up my salon tomorrow, by last week, the weekend, I would be already full. My place would be already, the hair dryers, the machines, and everything will be there. So my supplier of those things must have already known I'm doing this opening ceremony today. So by the start of last week, already have that thing.
Yeah.
Avoid all that query. Why don't you just order your commodities later, like before you opening up your shop or anything?
Sometimes a commodity may just come, like, done, I'll probably just assume now what is a cent. So when the time you get the money and they expect it open, they don't can be your parent, by the way.
If you have some little money for starters, you can maybe book.
Most
you can send some little
the most
some
important
products.
What I want is, there are lots of uncertainties. So you should be, first of all, do you realize that if you don't pay, first of all, you know that okusasula omuntu ayinza obutaleta yo things on time.
Yeah, fully. No,
and if you don't also pay them before they deliver, they will lag behind.
Yeah.
So what you do, I think you should always pay half, and you give them that pressure of providing the goods on time.
Yeah.
But by like what Italy time between.
Has it happened to you guys? Most of the times when you're buying something and you pay the full amount, you hardly get the product.
Even also, if you don't also pay like before they deliver, still you get. So you should always pay half, and then.
Maybe they just be lazy. You just be by the cent. You have to be
about that supplier. I'm going to support you. I'm going to give you these millions. I want to buy these shoes.
It has to be a win-win
people are nice
for both
like
people.
you.
No, okay, not really. But I think also if you're going to get this particular new supplier, just be also serious with your life.
Actually, Mulage, that you're not new in the business.
So you guys, is it advisable for someone to look for suppliers before even gaining capital? No. I think it can be okay. Yeah, it doesn't just add up. How do I, me if I'm the one, I would want to go to my supplier and actually now.
They do.
One, it can help me in a way that I'm making research. I'm making research about my
The
suppliers.
research part is okay.
Yes, once I get my capital immediately, I just go and buy
But
my
relating to the business plan, that part of research.
Yeah.
The time we're making a business plan, we also like researching about your supplier.
Yeah.
But you guys,
Or mutu bagenda wa supplier anytime. Just have your money on your bound. I mean, just be ready to give the supplier something.
It's also good to do some research.
me, I think it's kind of not easy. Because unlike international, because now we can't talk about international here because we are looking at someone whose capital is maybe 150K.
Yeah.
You get. So for the internationals, you can just go to alibaba.com nechangua. Nekatwano. Where, like, how will you go to Google and then fill in suppliers, for example, from Chico?
When you go to Google,
It's impossible from Google. You get.
That would be so difficult.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
So how do you think you can do it? I think people have relatives. People, always, the world is small. The always connections you get. So if you don't have maybe a parent or you don't have a relative, muchiko, you can. They're always the smart kids. You get. So you talk to them, and somehow you linked up to the supplier you want.
friend, you can get any supplier.
And on top of that,
Nice to meet you.
you may not have the money. Bibao.
Yeah.
So what do? Most times, this is when someone should know you personally. I've seen people in Chico whereby someone comes to like a big shop, a very big shop, and they tell them, you know what, I don't have the money, but I promise you, I'm going to sell, I'm going to sell at this price. I pay you at the price you'd have sold to me, and we are good.
You mean vendors, like you go and buy you go and tell someone to give you products,
Yes, and then you
and you
them
sell
later.
them.
Have you seen those people who move with buds, ngakuliko, like toothbrushes,
Yeah, wipes.
Yeah, and those people can look like over there, they are hard, like they are doing nothing in town, but those guys make money.
A lot.
Profits
a lot
of
it.
50K.
The part is where you say I can go to
A shop.
I get the things, I don't pay the pass.
Yes.
You realize those guys who do that, you can't just trust me who is.
You have to
I
have
don't
a
trust
relationship with the supplier
Like,
first for you to do that.
A tight relationship.
Yes.
Even if I'm the
Someone should
supplier,
They know
I can't
you.
give a new
I wouldn't.
person
Yeah, I wouldn't. trust
Okay,
anyone
maybe
with
that
my
can't
stuff.
work for a new person,
You realize
but
suppliers can also be the shop in your village.
Yes.
For example, if I'm doing a chapati store, I just have to buy the pack of the wheat flour, then the liter of oil, then the sack, like a.
And you know the different shops where they
Yeah,
sell
you have
these
your
different
G,
things.
like Musei, I'm going to bring money today in the evening.
But you see,
When I make
Martha,
the money.
when you buy stuff from a nearby shop at home, do you realize that they're more expensive compared to when you move to town? Most
why it's
cases,
like
downtown,
you move around to different shops as you're looking for that.
But if people, if
Favorable
I
prices.
you stay, for example, Nalia. So I leave Nalia, I come to Kampala to buy a pack of
Okay.
That's too much.
Yeah.
No, you don't need to go that far.
Okay,
You don't need to
I'm
go that
relating
far.
to that person who is that far. But you realize some people have it in their heads. It's only a window market with the cheap things, which is a bad thing.
And also someone forgets to count the transport. Because still, like, you carrying yourself and then you coming back with your things.
Yeah.
That's,
You guys just like getting tired.
yeah, that's
So
true,
meanwhile,
that's
you
true.
guys, you've all been to town, right? So this thing whereby you find that these guys selling different types of open shoes.
Yeah.
This one person is selling that same exact shoe at 5,000, then the other one is selling it at 7,000. If you were a youth starting your business and you want to buy these shoes from these people, what would you consider? Why do you think they?
Like where?
You guys,
Why do you
I
think
had a very
they're
bad
selling these
experience.
commodities at
Before
different
you even
prices?
go, I had a very bad experience. One time we were moving in the mall and I saw a nice bag. It was around 100. And then after 2 weeks,
Yeah.
we'll be moving downtown. I find the bag is at 30K.
Oh, my heart would bleed.
For the case of the malls, you guys overdo it. Like why? Really, why?
You guys, it broke
Yeah.
my heart like
So
70,
was it the same
70K.
quality? Was it the same quality?
Bernie, I know what I'm talking about.
Okay,
Same
no,
quality.
I just feel like these things. I just feel like these commodities have different
You guys-
qualities.
no.
maybe.
Sometimes
You guys, this is Uganda,
they have a
256,
reason as why they're selling their stuff at 6K or 5K.
100K.
100K.
At a price, the price tag was nice looking like that.
And the common can be you can't even reduce the money.
Honestly. So you realize that you should always, before you should have more than one place of, like, where you would get the supplies from.
The guy of 5K is the hand of 7K. I don't know, me, I'll have to go on 5K because definitely. I'm going to tell those guys 10,000 per shoe. I'm now making like a profit of half. Every pair of shoe buys another pair of shoe.
Okay, let's say you bought those shoes at 5K, and you took them and you found them duplicated or something. Would you take it back?
Of course, Sida, I'm not coming back.
No, would you take them back to the
Of course.
We talk.
No, you can. Actually,
I think it's always good when
you
just
guys,
talk to your
before we even get there, I think there's what they call a sample. You get before.
Those guys,
Okay.
those boys in Ham be fast.
Anyway, they be fast. Okay. Apart from the shoe and cloth thing, for example, I'm going to be making cake, or I'm going to be making liquid soap. You have to be serious with your life. You get, because you might buy like a bulk of raw materials, you know, and you reach there and you've wasted money, and things are going to be so bad.
I think some prices, like for example, those of cake, the ngano is same price, the icing sugar is same price. The problem is you might buy them, for example, from some cake shop, and either this person is selling expired things, that is if they have repacked them again,
or they're left with, let's say, 2 weeks.
Those additives.
And you know, cake is cake. It's
Yeah.
food. You don't joke with our food by out. Don't come and put price funny things.
Food. Anyway.
So, and I think when you're buying those things, some suppliers, but not for receipt, but when every business card.
Not only receipts, I think you as a person, I was talking about samples, take the sample and test and see before you buy the bulk. And on top of that, check what you're buying. Like she has talked about expiry dates. People just, you know, people, even before you start a business, naturally as a person moving to a mall or anywhere, people just pick stuff. You can start about noodles.
Very smart.
Like,
imagine, have you ever bought something? Have you ever gone to someone's shop and they give you a good sample and you're like, I must go back to that shop.
Okay.
Then you buy a lot of things, then you find them so weird, completely different.
That's when you should be there when that stuff is being packed. You get, check everything. Be woke.
I've seen this video where the woman purchased something, and then when they were packing it in the Kavera, they gave her something else. So these Kampala boys, I don't know how they.
People, why are you
No,
evil?
this guy is on the road. She bought were they selling clothes?
Yes.
That's the
Then they
big
swap it in some
Yeah,
other
some other
thing. So you just have to be over crucial.
You should be woke, because some people, you'd have borrowed this capital and now, you know, you're reaching. You remember this thing whereby someone, like they were looking for a TV. And then after saying it's that one, they pay. They reach home, opening, and it's a stone.
How about you make some agreements with these people?
How many Ugandans have you watched though?
How about you first make some solid agreements with these suppliers, and you're like, in case I take these things and I don't find them, then we'll make a deal. Let me bring back your stuff. Give me some money back.
If you're a business, you try those investigative styles. Open your phone, open your sound recorder, you start talking like.
By the way, when you're moving to Chikovo, when you reach on those suppliers, all on those guys having those products, for example, Ngoli Kuham Mongato, you know, when someone, like when you reach on a shop, when you reach a certain particular shop, and someone tells you a particular price, to Ayobu we send. The people, they will tell a package is around this amount. And instead of maybe talking to this person or mumatize that this is what I can, depending on what costs, because a business is all about reducing the cost of production. No, you want to go at your gamba, 200, and yet it can go for 150. You get. And then they say 200.
Also,
it's not there.
Also, the person purchasing should actually know what they want. You may say yes, 200,000, but are the shoes really worth the 200?
Quality.
Like you touch them, over you bend. There's those guys bend them very many times, and then
A shoe of 5K and a shoe at 10K.
now that situation where I think I can allow to buy the shoe of 5K now is when I'm broke and I just want to make
But
money.
still, you want to stay in business for long.
You give your customer a
People are going to have fish shoes in a space of 2 weeks. You can imagine.
You guys remember the prom people who sold us those clothes? Those boys who sold those prom clothes?
Yeah.
Realize those people, they never come back again. You never see them again.
Of course.
They set a different rule. So my business will be like that.
No matter.
All you want is,
Martha, that's not the plan. Why? Because we want to grow that business. You get, we want to start small and then grow, and we have a brand to build.
At the moment, remember, when I was getting my capital, I got my capital from a friend who wants their money back ASAP. Just in case they, as the previous episode, those people who give us our angel investors, my investor might have got
angel investor tabanja.
And Kachononga chooses that people are different.
Okay.
Naga, I want back my money. So I have to think very fast. I want to keep in the business. I have to get the boys' money.
But then for you to keep in the business, how will you keep in the business when you
now I'll buy these shoes. I'm not. It's not a scamming thing. It's just a way of living.
Okay, Martha. If I come to you, yeah, and you sell to me, because you know people are funny, yeah, they'll buy a shoe at 5K. Someone will buy a shoe at 8K, and they'll still price it 10K. On a belenga funa profit of 5K. On a belenga funa profit of 3K. You get. And then the shoes will both get torn in a space of 2 weeks. Yes. When Zja and I buy a shoe like at 10K and it gets spoiled like and then the one that was bought at 8K because it's of kind of a better, you get, but they're both at 10K. Do you really think in Jakud that I'll come back to your shop? I'll not.
The positive side of it, Samali, you could buy these shoes at 5K. They are genuine quality.
How about that? That's also there.
Okay, then that's when you'll have to make sure that you look for a good supplier.
Because sometimes people are just about what? In campus, some guy who sell us lip gloss, lipsticks and everything. There's a time you would buy this calicos of 1,000, that tiny one. I also buy the same one. But then yours is either disappearing very fast or it's... You take it back to the guy and the guy asks, that one bought it and guy has it still okay.
Auntie, that's the problem with Ugandans.
Those people are just bold enough to tell you, where you bought wrong shoes.
You know, you'll go to a person, the first time they will, just like some companies, things like cosmetics, first time, ngachikola, no chisiga, pimple nebula, you get. But then after a space of 7 months,
of jelly, there's other things just
you get, like, after some time, the things are so ugly, they're so bad, they can't help, they are causing people cancer.
And something with clothes, sometimes you see these people, they buy clothes in wholesale as they are good, or they wear them. So you buy a t-shirt and the color is pale inside, and then it's like, Maje, you posted this thing and it's really beautiful.
It was really new.
So for particular customers, I'm going to deliver these things to.
Yeah.
For example, I'm working online. And for example, selling. Yeah, I've ever thought of selling alcohol online. Okay, I'm being alcohol again, but I've ever thought alcohol online.
Next topic.
First, wait. Imagine you're giving me those products, and my people are genuine drunkards. So this one time you miscount the bottles. A supplier must be very, 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 very keen about, people, the business is actually
this is Kampala.
Basically, if I want to buy, for example, the soap, the other cosmetic things, if a supplier ever makes a mistake,
don't go back.
It actually affects the business. By all means, you sent me this, ain't enough.
And if things are expensive, you're going to also price your goods expensively, and people are going to run.
And I have to get the taxes.
So I think if I had gone to this specific person myself and I bought these things from her, I wouldn't have encountered that.
Like physically, yeah?
So little advice to the people out there, business.
If you're buying online things,
yes.
maybe if you're buying for yourself,
it's okay.
But for a business, like she said, really,
Delivery. After COVID-19 made it worse. People no longer want to be out there. They just want to sit.
Literally, how can you risk your 10 million and buy these things?
10 million is much. Okay,
like
150.
2 million. I'm going to buy these things, and then I find this online person and they tell me, and you find like they're not the same. The things actually very pale.
Yes.
They're very short. They don't
online.
People these people don't blame the guys online. I think they do this to just get the market, also to just entice customers.
Yeah, but sometimes do you know when they do delivery? Okay, I'm now talking about people being agenda n'abalamu. Nga delivery aja kuba esimu. Whatever will happen. But it's a one way. You get transport.
Yes.
You people transport is expensive. It's too much. Then n'abalamu nti nze ngende.
then I come back.
Then in Komeo, like things are like I'm still with you. You get. So transport expenses, you might find that what you're buying, like literally when you're to sell, the profits will be covering the transport expenses.
But then,
Somebody, if you're buying a lot of things from a wholesale person, wholesale seller,
Yeah.
why would they
Just do
And
it
you buy
once.
the new things just once. Like
Okay.
we were saying, it would be better for someone to buy a lot of things all at once.
Yes.
Like from that
Larger
sense,
things,
larger
yeah.
things
Yeah.
to reduce on the costs.
Meanwhile, there are people who change suppliers. Okay, I don't want, like, there are people, actually, just like suppliers, there are people who change, who have excess all the time.
Yeah.
That wasn't.
For, yeah, we can sell chai, where yeah, chai, you
That
get.
is, sometimes it's just backup, you guys. Yes.
And reasons.
Oli supplier wa far, oli supplier wa kugende Dubai okusubula nga
Banna.
neetaaga ebintu. That supplier may not be ready this time round. If I've been buying this clothes from this particular supplier and then I call him that the next day is like, you know what, today much I don't having those clothes you want.
How long will you change suppliers?
Not really all the time. Just have that emergency supplier.
Okay, having an emergency supplier is good,
Yes.
but Martha has talked about what if the person is not ready.
Yes.
I'm not, like, I think in the business you shouldn't wait for stock to get done, like olabenga emidala jikaze, you get. It's like when you're home and you've been eating food. For example, our father, they always buy their food, but our father won't move into the store to check if the food is done. Like, there is a way it looks ill, you get. So it's up to you guys. It's up to you guys to, whenever like when it's almost getting done, you inform the parents that the food is almost getting done, we need more food. So you're not going to wait for your shop to get dry for you to get supplies. You get, you order on, like, you talk on time.
It should go in line with the demand. Somebody you could buy, let's say, ladies' shoes, open shoes and closed shoes. And maybe open shoes are selling more than closed shoes. If this type produces, order in this
Other
other
type.
type.
Yeah,
I
that's
think that
that's
would be
that's right.
The thing I wanted to say is when this supplier is not available at the moment, really, I think, as someone who is in business, sometimes for the shops like in villages, you guys, if you live in the village, you realize there's a time the shop is actually very dry, and everything is over. Even if it's bread, it is everything
Actually,
is
the
just
shop
over.
can look bad when
So
it's
I
dry.
think some people have it in their heads. I have to first wait everything gets done. I balance my books. After balancing my books, I travel to Kampala.
But you should be a risk taker.
It's very, very bad because remember those days you're not supplying, for example, the clothes. Someone is now new in the game. They're supplying and customers are going to this person.
And there is a be best when the shop is dry. Like,
That's
I
how
can't come to a
the
shop.
mobile suppliers come in. Yeah, that's when
Yeah.
the mobile. At least when I know, just not to be a bad person in business. Why would I let my shop dry?
Yeah.
No, I've seen a shop even of the shop of foodstuffs which people need in a daily.
And by the way,
basis, and then it
I buy
overdries
your thing. Do you realize that, for example, there is this thing of bread and the vindazi. You can't be moving yourself or good vindazi and you come back because these guys always pass through. Do you realize
They
that?
deliver. Those are the good
Soda,
suppliers.
what and
Yeah.
what. As you're there, you just know that every
They have
Thursday
that interval
he's
in
to
a
pass
week,
by.
yes.
Yeah, he's to pass by. I just have to be ready with my money. They give me.
So
you guys think it's okay for someone to have two suppliers?
no, actually,
At the
even
moment.
more, I
I've
would.
just thought about it. I feel like it's a good thing. You know
Yeah.
why? You could maybe, let's say you're selling shoes, you could buy like 15 pairs from this one person, the other 15 pairs from
And
this
the other
other
person.
You could find different quality from those two. Or
Okay,
you could find
comparison.
the same high quality and
Yeah,
cheaper
that's
price.
also right. Comparison. And also, don't rest. Now that you've gotten one supplier, I tell don't. Like, it's like getting a kid and paying fees and then like dumping them there. You should always check on like these things, follow up. You'll use one supplier and they'll get so confident that she knows Nzali or you get
And then they
increase
start
the
playing with your
prices,
business.
coerce with whatever is So you should always like you be paranoid. That's what they call paranoia. Always be on the be mulaune business, you get. Don't just be there and get comfortable. Always look out and see which supplier can do better than the one I have. But though I'm saying don't because sometimes you don't know what's really going to happen.
As a keeping up with a big conversation, let us go in a short break and we bring more about the suppliers, the policies and everything. This is SMART24 TV and we're still driving business.